Hola amigos, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am here to share quite a few tips to help you set up a writing routine to get you writing more and writing more often, ideally every day. So grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or whatever's your beverage and let's settle down and have a good old chat. Hello, my usual disclaimer that if you can hear dogs snoring in the background, it is because I have two chocolate Labradors by my feet and they will not leave me alone. They get too relaxed and then they start snoring when I'm filming, so many apologies. The first thing that I would really recommend that you do if you're wanting to set up a better writing routine so that you are able to write more and more often is to get yourself a copy of Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, I'm sure if you have watched YouTube videos at all, you will have heard this book recommended, and I did, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I quite like me a self-help book, I'll get a copy. Oh my goodness, it is amazing. He is completely brilliant. He breaks everything down so well so that you really understand how to make a habit and how to make it stick. There is not a book that I can recommend more highly if you are wanting to set up some good habits. So I've got quite a few tips for you today. Some of them you might have heard before, some of them I hope that you won't have, some of them you're probably not gonna like, but frankly, they're for your own good, because if you want to be a writer, you've got to find time to write. There's no other way about it. You can't be a writer if you don't do any writing. My first tip is to have a set time to write. This doesn't have to be the same time every single day, but you do need to plan ahead so that you know when it is, because otherwise the day will just slip by. If your life is anything like mine, it's busy. I have 4 kids, I've got 2 dogs, I've got a house to keep under control. There's a lot to do, and it is just so easy for the day to get away from us, and suddenly we realise it's 11 o'clock at night, we're tired, and we haven't done any writing today. My next tip is to start off small. There is no point in declaring that you are going to write 5,000 words every single day for a month if generally you struggle to get 500 words a day down onto the page. It's far better to sit down for a shorter amount of time and to expect to write a much smaller amount, but to do it regularly and to build up from that. Make your target attainable and stick to it. And my next tip is to make writing pleasurable. It should be fun. You want to be a writer, you want to write. So make the whole experience really nice and really fun. Maybe make yourself one of your favourite drinks to settle down with. Put some music on if you like that. I actually absolutely hate any noise in the background when I'm writing, but each to their own. And above all, make sure that you are wearing comfortable clothes. There's nothing worse than trying to write when you've got your waistband digging into your tummy. It's really not good. Right, next is probably the one that you're really not going to like, and that is it's turn off the Wi-Fi. Yeah, or at the very least, put your phone in another room so that you're not constantly checking it. I know I'm a parent. There are times when you have to be contactable, and that's a lot of the time. If your kid's out of the house, something might happen. Someone might need to call you. There could be an emergency. I get it. But that doesn't mean that you have to have your phone right next to you. At least move it into another room so that you have to get up and walk to go and get it. If there's somebody else that can be contacted in an emergency, then you can turn the Wi-Fi off. I know that it can be really annoying sometimes to write when you haven't got the internet. You can't Google anything that comes up. But in general, I find it far better just to make a note either in the document on the computer or in a notepad to say what you need to look up, and look it up at the end of your writing session. You'll be surprised how much time you save. Set goals for the week and for the month, and then treat yourself when you reach those goals. It doesn't have to be anything really expensive if you don't have a lot of money at the moment. It can be a favourite coffee from your favourite coffee shop. It could be a nice relaxing bubble bath. It could be a new writing craft book. That's one of my favourite things to treat myself to. Just a little something that you've got to look forward. This next tip is really important. Get your family on board with you. If your family understand how important your writing time is and that you cannot be interrupted unless the building is on fire or somebody has lost a limb or is bleeding profusely. They are much more likely to take it seriously and actually leave you alone, and that will help you to concentrate more. It's impossible to concentrate when you've got several kids all around you asking you questions and demanding your attention. You just can't write like. You also really need to think about where the best place is for you to write and what the best time is for you to write. Now, you've got to be comfortable when you're writing, but for me, I don't want to be too comfortable. I don't like to write in bed. I can't concentrate properly. I like to be reading in bed, and so I'm just not productive there. I'm also not great when I'm writing late at night. My mind is just too tired. I happen to write best in the middle of the afternoon. So do a few experiments, try some things out and work out where works best for you and when. So I have found that writing between about 4 and 6 p.m. and in my dining room works best for me. The only problem that I have is that our dining room is very much a thoroughfare, so people are coming and going. But as I'm incredibly nosy, that's quite good for me. I couldn't bear to be missing out on anything important like a parcel arriving or something equally earth-shattering. You should also try to make sure that you know what you're going to write before you are going to write it. The best way that I find to do this is at the end of a writing session, I will jot down in my notebook what is going to happen next and what I need to be working on. Another option is to start your writing session just making some notes about what you are going to be working on. And my final tip is not to get disheartened if you don't write as fast or as much as other people. Everybody writes at their own pace and everyone has different amounts of time that they can devote to their writing. It's not a race. And many times #1 best-selling author Lisa Jewell never writes more than 1,000 words a day, apparently. She finds if she goes any faster than that, then she loses control of the story. And bear in mind that somebody who maybe writes 5,000 words every day might have more editing to do on those words than you, who manage 1,000 words a day or even just 500 words a day. All words are words and they count. It might be that if you write slowly and you take more time, then you will have to do less drafts than someone who writes faster and with wild abandon. So it's each to their own. Well, I hope that these tips have been really helpful to you. If you have any tips of your own to help writers struggling to write as much as they would like and as often as they would like, please pop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and booping that notification bell so that YouTube lets you know when I have a new video available, and I will catch you in the next one.